It's already been a fantastic year for paleontology. From evidence for high levels of theropod intelligence to hundreds of titanosaur eggs discovered in India, we've received a wealth of information about dinosaurs that made the most fascinating creatures on Earth even more interesting. That trend continues with a new study by Yoshida, Kobayashi, and Norrell describing a preserved larynx in the ankylosaur Pinacosaurus. First off, this is a remarkable discovery by itself. The larynx or voice box is a cartilaginous structure used for vocal generation and control in tetrapods. The oldest previous larynx was from the goose-like bird Presbyornis, which lived over 40 million years ago in Wyoming. This discovery pushes back the record of fossilized larynxes by 30 million years. The funny thing is that this specimen of Pinacosaurus had previously been described back in 2015, and the larynx was originally identified as the hyoids, paraglossal, and ceratobranchial, which are bones used to support the tongue. The authors of this study used laser scanning on the skeleton and realized that what was preserved was even more significant than the original publication assumed. So what did they find anyway? This larynx was composed of a few important pieces that set it apart from non-avian reptiles: extremely long arytenoid cartilages and wide cricoid cartilages. I won't go too deep into the anatomy here, but essentially what that means is that the larynx of Pinacosaurus was extremely bird-like. Non-dinosaurian reptiles tend to have shorter arytenoid cartilages since they don't use the same hinge mechanism to open their glottis and create sound by expelling air. These diagrams show where Pinacosaurus stacks up compared to other reptiles when it comes to relative arytenoid length and cricoid width, factors that indicate complex vocalization ability. It was close to the top of the list even when compared to birds, and was leagues above any non-avian reptiles. There are a few takeaways from this study, and the authors themselves are helpful in providing direct statements about the anatomical significance of such an advanced larynx. They wrote that the larynx of Pinacosaurus may have been actively vocalized and associated with loud and explosive calls as in vocal reptiles and birds. They also stated that its vocalization might be related to courtship, parental call, predator defense, and territorial calls, as in modern archosaurs, crocodilians, and birds. Specifically mentioned is the likelihood that Pinacosaurus enhanced its vocal activity and sound communication like modern birds. This is amazing! Birds engage in some of the most complex vocal communication of any animal, using their unique anatomy to create sounds ranging from chicken squawks to deep emu rumbles to even a parrot's imitation of human speech. What makes this study even more amazing is the probability that such structures were common in other dinosaurs, not just Pinacosaurus. Ankylosaurs were not very closely related to birds. The fact that a complex and bird-like vocalization structure existed in a relatively distant group from birds themselves indicates that it could have been a very basal trait within dinosaurs. As the authors themselves say, bird-like vocalization was likely to have appeared in non-avian dinosaurs before the advent of aves. This means we could expect to find loud, diverse, and sophisticated vocal communication in theropods, thyreophorans, ornithopods, maybe even sauropods. In context with a recent neuron density study, it's not too crazy to imagine a vibrant, ancient world filled with intelligent, curious, and communicative dinosaurs that use their abilities to their advantage. What if non-avian theropods had developed vocal mimicry? That would open up ambushes by copying the sounds of a prey animal's mating call or imitating its young. Perhaps herbivores use terrifying bellows as a means of self-defense. When it comes to dinosaurs, we should always expect to be surprised by their capacity for complexity. What do you think dinosaurs would have used a larynx for? Go ahead and let us know in the comments. Check out the original study in the video description and read the paper for yourself. If there are any other interesting studies you'd like to share, feel free to link those as well. I'm the Vividen, and I'll see you next time.
Created using Powtoon.